A short while ago I managed to buy my first Yema. It was the Flygraph, and what a terrific watch it is too. In fact, you may want to watch the video I did on it. Now I recently fell out of love with my NTH Nazario Ghost. Not because it isn't a brilliant watch, I just felt it wasn't for me. I almost secured a deal on a Yema Pearl Diver, then this one popped up on eBay. Now I prefer the design of the Navy Graph, and it's got a sapphire crystal opposed to the acrylic one on the Pearl Diver. In actual fact, this watch is a remake of one Yema made in the 1970s. The seller and I agreed a deal, and it was with me the following day. Now I'm sure everyone is aware, Yema are a French brand, and they've been in existence since 1948, and they're famed for producing their own in-house movements. So welcome to my unpaid, unsponsored and very unprofessional review of the Yema Navy Graph. So on with the dimensions. Well, the case is 39mm. It's got a lug width of 19mm, a lug to lug of 47mm, a depth of about 12.5mm, and adjusted to fit my 17cm wrist on this bracelet, it weighs 128 grams. Now because of the narrow bezel and the flat sapphire, it does wear a little bit more like a 40. There we are, a rather nice presentation case there, cardboard outer box, a rather nice leather case, an instruction manual and a leather 2-year warranty card. And for those interested, this is my watch of the day. It's the Victorinox Infantry. It's a 39mm case. Inside the watch is an ETA 2824 and I put this rather nice nylon strap on it. Now the watch has got a 300m water resistance rating, which is impressive to say the least. I can't really see this being used as a deep sea diver, but it is an indication that it's well made. Now the crown is signed, 6mm, it's protected by these crown guards. Unfortunately the knurling is quite coarse and the engagement is absolutely dreadful. It takes me 4 or 5 attempts to actually get this crown in. In actual fact, I contacted the seller of this watch. He gave me a few tips and we did actually negotiate a partial refund in the end. It is a weakness of the watch. Anyway, the movement is the Yema 2000. It's a high beat 4Hz movement. It ticks away at 28,800 beats per hour. It hacks and it hand winds. It's got a power reserve of 42 hours. These are very accurate and they're quite reliable, and say this is an in-house movement developed at great cost by Yema. So let's have a look at how it's performing on the time grapher. There we are, decent set of figures, plus 5 seconds a day, which in reality is probably about plus 2 seconds. A reasonable amplitude, although I haven't been wearing this watch all the time, and the beat error 0.2, which is more than reasonable. As you can see, it's got a flat sapphire crystal and it does have some AR coating. The bezel is very nice. It's loomed sapphire. It's 120 click, although the earlier models I believe were 90 click. It's quite tactile. There's no back play. There's no wobble. It doesn't quite line up properly, slightly to the left, but might just be the angle I'm looking at it. Now the case is very interesting. It's like it's in 3 different layers, with the crown part of the case slightly risen. It's almost solely brushed, horizontally on the sides, vertically on the top. The back is screw down, it's primarily polished, and in the inside of it is embossed with the Yema logo. Needless to say, there's some basic information engraved around the sides. Although relatively simple, I adore this style. The indices are painted on and they're simple to read. The script is tasteful and the font's quite classy. Now the loom-filled stick hands, they've got a yellow surround, which some people don't like. I do. Perhaps blue may have been a better option, but I've always been a bit of a sucker for something different. Now I think the loom's old radium. It lights up quite well initially, but it doesn't last that long, and the loom on the bezel, well, that is disappointing. Let's have a look at this loom. Moving on to the bracelet and the clasp. Well, I am a bit of a sucker for those H-link bracelets. I do love them. Now this isn't the best one I've ever felt, but it's not the worst either. It's extremely comfortable and it articulates beautifully. It's attached by a pin and collar system. which is a bit fiddly, but it is very secure. It tapers from 19 down to 16 and then 17 back up to the clasp. The end links, and they're solid end links, they do fit the case beautifully, and as you can see the lugs are drilled for easy strap changes. Moving on to the clasp, well, it's very good and very average at the same time. It's extremely comfortable on the wrist because it is only 17mm. It's half milled, it's half pressed, it's got 4 micro adjusts, there's a flip lock, and it's a friction fit. What is impressive, it's got a milled diver's extension. All in all, very good. Price and value for money. Now, if I were to purchase this direct from Yema, it would cost me in the region of £750 after duty and taxes. In reality, you'll almost certainly get a discount on that, probably 10, maybe even 15%. At the time of making this video, they're available in the UK from WatchGecko for £569, which needless to say is a decent saving. I was lucky enough to pick this 3-month-old one up from eBay for £345, which I consider was a good deal. I then got a further discount because of that dodgy crown. So the question is the watch good value for money? Well, at £569 for a quality French-made watch with an in-house movement is indeed reasonable value. However, at £750, I feel it would probably be overpriced. Anyway, it's your money, your decision. QC issues, likes and dislikes. Well, the crown is a problem. If I had bought the watch new, it most certainly would have been returned. It also has that very slightly misaligned bezel, and if that were a massive issue, Seiko would have had to build a new warehouse just for their returns. Now, as far as dislikes, I think the crown guards are just a little bit long, making even a good crown difficult to do up. The 19mm lug width, well, that's just daft and it should have been 20mm. Now that might bother some people more than others. Now the case shape is a little bit flat, but that's probably in keeping with the vintage feel of this watch. Now, I had the opportunity to return this, but I didn't. I kept it because I felt the positives outweigh the negatives. I find the size perfect. The aesthetics very pleasing and it's incredibly comfortable. If you pair that with a very accurate in-house movement and the opportunity to wear a watch with loads of heritage, well, it gets a thumbs up from me. So to summarise things, the question is, would I recommend you buy one of these? Well, yeah, my Yema Flygraph is one of those watches you used to sell your wife to buy, whilst this one is well worth owning, but only if you get the right deal. Now this brings me to the end of the review. If you'd enjoyed it, please click the like button. If you haven't subscribed already, please consider doing so. Leave your comments below and enjoy the rest of your day.